Hello. Good morning, everybody. It's Sally, the upside down bicker.
Good morning.
And Maggie. Can you hear me okay?
I can. Can you hear me, though?
Yeah, you sound great. Your sound is so much clearer with the headphones.
With the headphones.
Yeah. Isn't it crazy?
It is weird. I just think it's weird that my computer, and I went all over the settings. For some reason, without this, if I speak, if other people are speaking, it shuts off my microphone. You know what I mean? So I can't, and I couldn't, I went all through the settings. I Googled and Googled, but I couldn't find any reason for it.
Yeah. For some reason, whenever you have, hold on, I got to get Todd in here. There's Todd. What's up?
Do you want me to put a message in the Facebook page?
Yes, and
I'll do it.
I don't know if you have the chat up yet.
I do not, because you're not on my list of lives. I had to go all the way down. I had to go all the way down to your name. My list of lives. There we go. But Hank's here.
Okay,
Karen and Pump Crack.
Yep. Good morning to all you. Yeah, I was gonna try to find the link for this on YouTube.
I'll do it because I've got it up.
You got it up? Okay.
I do. Yeah.
And my phone rings.
What's your channel?
Hang on, just one.
Bicker?
Yeah, I've got it. I'm gonna just post it in this.
Oh.
He's not, but he's at work. But this is his wife. Yes. Yes. Yes, I do. Nothing like that. It's clean. It is a Astro van. Yeah, it's complete. The only thing is the battery doesn't work. Okay. Okay. Sure.
Morning, everybody. Cindy, Karen, and Karen.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
So in StreamYard.
All right, thank you.
Screen. Okay.
All right, bye-bye.
So
hello. So they're considered essential today, so they're coming to get my van.
Okay.
So that's a good thing.
So I didn't get a notice about the show. How can I get to the YouTube side?
So you put the link to the YouTube in the Reseller Squad?
I did.
Oh, okay.
So if you want to, but oh, what the phooey. I'll put it in this little chat. I'm not used to this StreamYard thing. I'll stick it in this private chat here. So if you can't chat, okay, sorry, on StreamYard, it's all one thing. So there you can see the live chat off to the side, but you can't type in there unless you're logged in, I guess. I can see all the comments, but I can't see a space to type in there.
Okay.
Okay, I'm there.
Well, what do you mean? You can't see a space to type in?
If I wanted to
Where-
type in the chat off on this StreamYard window, I can't. And I don't think I ever created.
Oh,
It's no big deal. You can always chat. I can just talk.
if you click on comments at the top.
Live comments.
Live comments. I see the live comments, but I couldn't. There's no space for me to click in and type something if I wanted to.
Oh, okay. See, mine's at the bottom.
I think because maybe. Go ahead.
It says it at the bottom, where it says it has like all the comments on the side, and then at the very bottom is where I can put in a comment.
So
to the
must be because I'm not logged in. I just got the notice in my email now about the show. So
okay, cool. Thank you.
All good. All good.
There we go. That's the one that I wanted. I like whenever all the squares are like equal.
Yeah. When it's not your face.
Right.
But I was thinking of Bum Crack yesterday because there was a show on, I think it was kind of, do you remember the old one with you give a word and they guess, you give a bunch of words for them to guess the word. It was a game show. In any case, I think the word was plumber, but I was in the kitchen. I couldn't see the answers. I could only hear the clues they were given. And he said something like pipes, and then he said butt crack, and I said reseller. Bum crack.
That's funny.
What's the name of that show? $25,000 Pyramid. It used to be. I think it's different now.
Yeah.
Hey, Nikki.
Hi, Nikki. Yeah, we ran out of coffee, so Brad had to go get me coffee from the store. So he brought me back two of these. He's like, I know you'll go through one like really quick, so I should probably
how's
get
your supplies at your stores, like coffee and stuff?
As far as I know, they're okay. I haven't heard of anything like them not being able to get anything, but as far as I know, but they get their truck in on Thursday, so their truck will come in today. But Brandon got there and my boss goes, "Is Sally with you?" And he goes, "No." And she goes, "I miss my Sally."
Well, you're going back on Monday?
As far as I know, yeah. Oh, I forgot to put a label on this. I did sell a couple of things yesterday. I Miss Piggy to the UK was one of them.
Oh, really?
I listed last night. I was listing games and game parts. If you only have like a couple of pieces of a game, like just the cards or just the totems or just the dice, you can list those separately and they'll sell.
Those little pieces?
Yeah. And I listed the cards for what is it? Oh shoot. A chair clicked. What is that game called? It's like quiz, not quiz. What is it called?
Trivia.
Trivia, yeah. And I listed the cards for that, and I think I took a best offer for like $6 plus shipping on them.
Oh, hey.
And I was able to get them all on a padded flat rate, so I was like happy about that.
Yeah.
And yeah, like cards, like I had Pirates of the Caribbean Disney game, and it's like treasure map. It's called the treasure hunt or something like that. Anyways, I had the cards, and I had the map, and I had a couple of different other pieces, and I listed them all separately under the the variated
Okay.
listing. I listed them like that for like $6 a piece or something like that. So if anybody just wants the cards or whatever, they can do that. Yeah, Valerie sold a game for like $50 yesterday that was like an 80s game.
Yeah, I saw that.
So
I just never thought of selling little pieces of the game.
yeah,
Game parts.
totally. Yeah. Yep. I just make sure I keep them all together. Like I have them. I took my I have a Sillamil thingy.
Oh yeah.
And I just took that and I made baggies for all of them and wrapped them up, and that's how I took pictures of them. I had them all already plasticed up and Maggie, did you find the name of that game website you were talking about in my live stream? Beth said.
Oh yeah, it was oh geez, my memory. It's called playingcards.io. Playingcards.io. I haven't got a chance to go back. What I played on it was Cards with Humanity. But I think there are different other games.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you just create a little room. It looks like card games. So it might not be. Yeah.
Hello.
There you are. Hey, Lori. Yeah. Sound good.
And I don't
How you
see.
doing this morning?
My mic wasn't. So.
Oh.
Hi, Lori.
Lori. Good morning. Playing.
Good morning.
Wait, let me go to the. But looking at it now, it looks like you might have to kind of create your game in there. I don't know. I'll have to go back to the person who set it up for us and see.
I know we used to play cards on something like that. And I think you have to make like you have to say what your rules are or something like that. I can't remember. It's been a good couple of years. That game that I sold the cards to was Cranium.
Oh, Cranium. I've played that game.
Because there's some games like that you could just take the cards and that's all you really need for the game. Yeah, just to answer questions,
Morning,
back
Patty.
and forth. Yeah, man, I looked up how much that guy spent for shipping on that Miss Piggy to the UK, and he spent $43.
Wow.
And it still went through global shipping program for me. So I don't know if it's just some things can't go global shipping program, or if it's everything that isn't supposed to go, but mine went.
I thought what I saw there was that some international shipping it's not all international shipping. It's not like they shut down the whole program.
Well, that's good.
But it didn't give any real information, which I guess isn't unusual for eBay. On
True.
I had a buyer message me yesterday evening. Would I ship to Hong Kong? I said, well, I use the global shipping program, so they may have Hong Kong shut off. So I was like, sorry,
Oh,
no, all I use is the global shipping program. I think Italy's gone.
yeah,
I think Spain is gone. I think Hong Kong and China are gone. So yeah, I think you can still get stuff out to the UK and Ireland. Canada, probably get stuff to
crack.
Canada and Mexico.
Hi, bum crack.
He's trying to say it was him that bought it. Yay, hit the like button for me. I need it. I don't see much action over here. Yeah, I don't know. Bum crack, did Andrew ever find out if his results were negative or positive? Because I know that Andrew, he's a reseller over in the UK. He got tested.
who got tested?
Andrew,
Ah,
I can't remember his reseller name right now.
right. Yeah,
Crap.
I don't know either.
Mental something.
Yeah.
Oh, Mental Money UK or something.
Money Mental.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just trying to.
I'm like mental something. It's amazing that I ever remembered that. Yeah. Oh, he says he's not sure. Okay. I just thought you would have heard. Karen says, after last night's press conference and the numbers, thank you for coming on. I needed positive thoughts. Y'all bring to the stream. It's getting hairy. It's getting hairy, and something that I listened to yesterday said, it was a doctor, and he said, we're not even at the peak yet.
That's what I've heard.
That it's another 2 weeks before we hit the peak.
That's what I've heard.
Yeah.
That it's 2 weeks, and then you have to go down from there.
Yeah, that Dr. Amy Acton or whatever. I don't know if she's just for Ohio or if she's like what, but she's the major one doctor in charge right now of updating everybody here in the state of Ohio. And she said that all senior citizens need to stay in, period, for the next 2 weeks. So it's up to the younger people to make sure that all senior citizens have what they need.
Yeah.
You know, whether it be just dropping it off at the door, you know, and the senior citizens need to put something in their window to let people know they're okay, or if they need something, you know, whether it be a red card or a green card or a white one for, you know, in distress, you know, something that will let people know to check in on them. So
my neighbors right across the street from me are gone. They've been gone for 2 weeks. Their lawn is all grown up, and
wow, maybe they went to stay with family or something.
They must be huddling with family or something, or they could be in the
There's
house
a lot of
dead,
people
and
that
I don't know
said
it.
Wow.
I would hate to see the ambulance pull up one day soon and
it's
carry
crazy.
them both out on stretchers. So
yeah. Well, maybe just go over there and maybe take a piece of paper with you and go over there and write a note if they don't answer the door, and try to slip it under the door, or if they have a mail slot.
I hate to leave anything visible that way. If we had a crook come through breaking their house while they're gone. But
Yeah.
yeah, they never let their yard go. I mean,
Yeah, they must be gone.
they
either-
spend
Yeah.
6 hours a day outside with a pair of scissors trimming the edges of their yard
Oh,
and
Lord.
stuff. Yeah, they're those people that make the rest of the neighborhood look so bad. Anyway,
Well, they probably don't have much else to do anyway,
Yeah.
so they might as well keep
Yeah.
their yard looking good.
Good morning, Philly Road Tech.
and then I took Izzy out to the vet to get her second round of tests on her diabetes,
Mm-hmm.
and they had signs put up, one for each parking spot, that said "Stop. Call this number, and we will come out to your car to
Mm,
to
that's like
get
get
your
your dog.
animal." Or yeah,
That's
so
like
they got
Benji.
Izzy, and
Good morning, Fishing and Picking. Hi, Shirley. That's
Oh,
right.
there, Shirley.
I got live chat and it's still slow.
Hi, Fishing and Picking.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of people are using this and Zoom right now.
Oh yeah, I
Yeah.
imagine schools are using it. I bet Google Hangouts wish they hadn't
Yeah.
shut down
Oh,
so quickly
man.
because they could have had some ads and stuff like that going in the background.
They
And
missed out.
yeah, they did.
Yeah, I was watching a show, Adam's Exploits. He had his show on yesterday, and he had a lot of trouble with the StreamYard,
Mm.
just because I think so many people are using it all
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
one time.
I'm sure that's probably. I mean, I've had a couple of problems with StreamYard. Don't get me wrong, but for the most part, they've been all right.
Yeah.
How's your sales been last couple of days?
I got 2 yesterday.
I got
Actually,
4, I think, maybe 5.
Actually, I got 3 because I just got one on Macari too.
Because I didn't have any the day before. It was crickets. And then yesterday I kind of cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. I was like, oh, hello.
You know what's been
I
happening?
listed my butt off yesterday though.
Did you? What I've been doing is in the morning when I'm here in these 2 hours, since with this I'm tied to this chair,
Mm-hmm.
I've been doing offers. So as we're sitting here, I do my offers on eBay, I do my offers on Poshmark, and for the past 3 days, I've had sales in the afternoon of things that I've made offers on in the morning.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
That's usually what I do when I get up and fix my coffee. I'll sit there and send out offers
yeah.
while I'm drinking my coffee.
That's great.
I was a little late
Yeah,
this morning, though.
I sold
I got-
4 yesterday, which is kind of my low average. Yeah, so not too bad.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
I mean, it's better than nothing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like it could be complete cricket. Oh, there's Nikki. I see you, Nikki.
Hey,
There's
Nikki.
Liz.
Hey, Liz.
Where's Nikki?
Morning,
Good morning,
Liz.
Nikki.
Yeah, Fishing and Picking. 6 months ago, no one knew about Zoom. Now everybody knows about it.
Mm.
And I mean, it's pretty well.
What's that?
It works pretty well. We had 60 people
Yeah.
at our rehearsal last night, and it was, no hitches at all. Liz says her hair dye is selling.
Oh, I bet.
I have never dyed my own hair, and I'm getting to the point where that may
Oh,
happen.
really?
Yeah.
I'm selling a little bit of jewelry, and I'm like, that's non-essential.
I've been selling lots of clothes.
People will probably be buying vacuum cleaner bags also.
Mm.
People are buying HEPA filter vacuum cleaner bags to put in their masks. They can
Yeah,
cut them.
I
They cut
seen.
them and they, huh?
Yeah, I seen somebody's. I have like a couple of watchers on some air filters that I'm selling, and I was wondering if that was why, because they're like HEPA filters.
I need to check mine. I think I have some. I think I have some vacuum cleaner, those HEPAs. I need to end it and relist it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah, mine I don't have real expensive, but they haven't sold yet. But they're
knee-high.
probably just looking at them. What's that?
I don't know if you saw that
Oh,
Patty
no.
said she sold a pair of knee-high leather boots this morning.
Oh boy.
Someone
Ooh,
has some,
nice.
someone has some games planned for later in the week.
Okay. No, mine are regular. Mine are regular vacuum cleaner
They
bags.
might
and
pay for expedited shipping for those.
Check a wow wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
These are just standard vacuum cleaner bags. Nothing special about them. Oh, well.
Monday on Instacart, there was like all day, probably throughout the day, there was probably about 12 on a Monday, 12 liquor store shops. And it's like,
Wow.
oh, is people getting sick of being quarantined? And
Probably.
they were big shops. I mean, it was a lot of alcohol. And this was on a Monday.
Wow.
How far, Mr.
On a
Stady?
Monday. Huh?
Come on, Dougie. You don't need to be in here. How'd you get in here anyway?
What are you up to today, Nikki?
Nothing right now. I gotta
Nothing?
do some shipping. I sold 2 items.
Oh, awesome.
So anybody who says that eBay slowed down because of this must not be doing something right, because I haven't been listing much, and I'm not having any problems making sales. So
I'm still making sales. I mean, they're not. There's a slight, lowering in sales, but I'm still making sales. It's no different than before. You got to list, and if you don't list, you don't sell. So that's why I look at it. I try to, even if I've got a busy day planned outside of eBay, I still try to get at least 2 or 3 things listed. Dougie, get down. I can't do too.
And now,
I mean, like,
not one thing that I'm selling has to do with doomsday prepping or COVID or nothing like that. So
no, but like,
games.
you know how it is. You know how it is. Like, if somebody finds some or needs something that you have, and and even if you're on the low part of it because you haven't listed or whatever, they're still gonna find your stuff.
Yeah.
So that's good though.
The thing is, I think people are getting tired of all this stuff, and they're looking for an escape. And eBay shopping is an escape.
Yeah.
Yeah. I agree.
I just hope we'll be able to keep getting to the post office throughout.
Yeah.
Well, if nothing else, you can always get pickups.
That's what I do.
We've never done it, but yeah, that's true.
They were saying on the news that the USPS was needing funding. I'm thinking, how? And so many of us are still shipping. How is that possible that they're needing funding?
I think Valerie, I think it was Valerie was saying something yesterday about that they got so much, but they were asking for a whole lot more. And they were saying that they, if they don't start getting funding, that they're gonna shut down. At least the little ones, maybe. The little ones.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll completely shut down unless
maybe
everything's shut down.
Maybe the little satellite USPS posts will, like the ones that have like one person running it or 2. But here in Mason, we have a very large post office, and then just over in Sharonville, we have where it actually comes in from all over, the big postal service place over there. I mean, it's huge. So
yeah. Hey there.
I don't understand. I read an article saying that mail volume is down so much this year, and that by June they feel like they'll run out of cash. I don't understand with all the online shopping. How is their volume down? I mean, I know people aren't mailing bills and you know what I mean, letters and things,
Yeah.
but you wouldn't
Well,
get packages.
Amazon went with their own shipping.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They
So
no longer use USPS or FedEx. I mean,
I'll be right back.
they do in areas where they haven't got their trucks set up yet, but other than that, Amazon is shipping using its own trucks.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So I'm sure that hurt the USPS.
Yeah,
I
that
don't
is
know, USPS every year is complaining that they're losing money. They're not going to make any money. Either it's just poorly ran or they're just like furniture stores. We're always going out of business, you know.
No, it's all the guaranteed pensions.
Karen
Yeah.
says they have large personnel costs. Yeah.
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 They pay well, and then after you retire from USPS, you get
That's true.
a guaranteed pension, and they're just kind of like on an old.
Yeah.
You know, just about everybody used to be on that kind of a system, but
Mhm.
very few businesses have that for people anymore.
No.
You can't
And
work
if they
for like
do,
Home Depot and get a pension plan. There is no such thing.
and if companies do have that kind of pension plan, they get rid of you as soon as you're almost ready to retire.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot have.
Fishing and Picking says USPS is crazy. At my hole in the wall post office, they have 3 postal workers working the window that have been there since
Mhm.
the start of time. One lady said she makes $85,000 a year.
Wow.
Wow.
Must be nice.
Yeah. Our post office put up a clear shower curtain in front of the window.
Ours put up a piece of
So
plexiglass.
funny.
Like,
Walmart's got plexi, like, or not Walmart, but Lowe's and Home Depot have plexiglass between the cashier and the customers at the
I mean,
checkouts.
you can't blame them,
No, you can't.
really. People in there breathing on you all day, and they're not really telling you. Some doctors say it is airborne. Some say it's not airborne. They're
I
not
don't
really
think they know. I don't think they really know right now. I think they're just grasping at straws and hoping, that they grab one that actually makes sense.
Yeah, Liz's post office had a plastic shower curtain too. I agree with Karen. Karen says USPS deserves our praises now. They absolutely do. Like,
Yeah.
and the people manning the grocery stores and they all do. And I know some of them are scared.
I'd like to put a bottled water and some snacks out for mine, but I don't know if they would take it because
They would take it.
So I think they'd be afraid to take it or something. But
Yeah.
because I know my postal worker, I see her and she just looks so wore out. I mean, I feel sorry for her having to pick my packages up too. Makes me feel bad, but I still have a business to run, and
right.
I can't let that get to me, but it does because they're working hard to
Don't
try
feel
to keep
bad.
everybody
They get
going.
paid plenty of money to buy their own damn water.
Yeah.
I remember one
Well,
time.
I've got a really good one.
Yeah. He's got this really good one that I used to get along really good with. And one day I had my door open, just the screen door was shut. And he bangs on the door and he's like, would you happen to have a glass of water for your poor mailman who was out drinking too late last night? I was like, yeah, come on in. Have a seat.
Yeah.
Silly Road Tech says I would be out there if I was not recovering from injury. So Russ, does that mean you're a postal worker? Huh. Okay, and Karen left a extra travel size hand sanitizer for her postal. Yeah, I mean they're doing a great job, and
Yeah.
I think Karen said earlier about the nurses and hospital workers. Like, we're sitting here chewing the fat of everything there.
I really enjoy if you feel bad for them, leave them a couple bucks. They're not supposed to take money, but
yeah.
Well, I've got some
a couple
extra,
bucks,
extra sanitizer that Teresa brought home last year. She brought a big bunch of it home from work because they changed their bottles and stuff.
Oh,
so
lift
I thought I could leave a sanitizer and some gloves for her. Tell her to stay safe, and healthy. So I might do that because
Leave
she
a
has to
roll
wear
of toilet
gloves.
paper in the mailbox.
What's that? Yeah, toilet paper
Put
in
a
the mail.
put a roll of toilet paper for my favorite postal worker.
We probably could. We still have that whole package from Jason that we didn't even open yet. I think it was like 12 rolls.
I seen on Facebook somebody was at a Walmart. I don't know if it was local or somewhere else, but she was trying to return all the toilet paper she bought.
Oh,
Yeah.
They wouldn't let her.
Good.
Well, she needs to go donate it. But she ain't going to use it.
I think there's gonna be a lot of that.
Well, that's just
people trying
stupid.
to, and they've already passed
you
a
can't.
thing saying that you can't do that.
you can't
Uh-huh.
They're
return.
not.
You can't. Well,
And Todd, I heard you got really good gas yesterday. Or was that the
Yeah,
day
check my
before?
video.
a really good what?
You got really good gas.
Oh,
Yeah.
where'd you eat?
And he made a video about it.
Yeah. Well, the price of gas was at the grocery store pumps $1.44.9,
Wow.
and then
Oh,
it was on the 31st. It was the last day of the month, so we had to use our points
Mm-hmm.
that
oh,
we
okay.
that we buy from the grocery store. So
Mhm.
we spend over $1,000 a month at the local grocery store. So we had a full 1,000 points,
Mm-hmm.
and that gave us another $1 off. So I was buying gasoline yesterday for 44.9 cents a gallon.
That's
That's
cool.
awesome.
Well,
Ours
this
But
is
you
the
can
thing,
see my
though.
video. You can go watch my video.
Go watch
I'm
Todd's
going
video.
to. I will. I will. I promise.
I would have had
I
I had all my vehicles lined up.
kind of
Yeah,
have a
30 gallon
feeling.
maximum.
I kind of have a feeling that that it's going to be a little harder to get gas. I noticed because me and Brandon went out yesterday. I didn't get out of the car or anything, but I just needed to go somewhere.
Mhm.
And we were going by my gas station that I work at, and all the pumps were bagged, meaning that they were probably out of gas. So yeah, they were bagged. So they were probably out of gas. So I'm having a feeling that it's gonna be like, low to pay for it, but you're gonna have a problem finding it. So if you find it low enough, fill up your gas cans.
Yeah, it might not be a bad idea to fill up.
That's what I told Teresa.
I'm
the next
actually
thing.
gonna buy another one. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a couple 5-gallon gas cans, so
Yeah.
I
I
filled up.
had Brandon fill up one the other day because we're, gonna mow the yard and stuff. But I thought I'm gonna have him get another one because I think we should fill up at least a couple of gas cans to just in case.
Yeah.
You never know what's gonna happen. Yeah, Nintendo Switches are hot.
I
For
want
sure.
those. I've been wanting one of those, but
Yeah.
I can't find one cheap enough. I'm like, good Lord.
Yeah, Brandon bought one a couple of months ago,
I'm gonna
and
fill my
it was expensive.
Did he get the Switch Lite or did he just get the Switch?
He got the regular Switch,
That's
and
what I want. I know a lot of people are
I
going
think
for the Lite, but
with the game and everything, it was nearly $500.
yeah, I know. It's like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So I put that on my birthday list because usually everybody goes in on something if I decide whenever I decide what I want before my birthday. So that's what I'm hoping. But because I've been researching it, because I have every other game. I'm a gaming collector, so I've got all the systems, except for the 5200 and the 7800, and then the ColecoVision. I don't have those three, but I collect also the newer ones too, and that's the only one of the newest systems that I don't have. And I didn't know if I would want it, and then now I've like been researching. I was like, I want one of those. Those look cool because you can, handheld or put it up on the TV. So
Yep.
and I know at Animal Crossing,
that part of it is really cool.
Yeah, they said the graphics are really, really good.
They are.
They said that the Animal Crossing is like one of the hottest games right now. The Animal Crossing Horizons, and because I didn't even know what it was. I mean, I knew there was.
Everybody's talking about that on YouTube.
What's that?
Everybody's talking about Animal Crossing on YouTube.
Yeah, my nephew's playing it. I know both my nephews are playing it, and they're posting everything online, and then all their friends are posting stuff on their pages, and it's like, what is this? It's like a cult.
Brandon got Zelda.
Oh yeah, they said that was a big one too.
He really likes it. He really likes it, and there's a lot to do on it. It's not just go and beat it and you're done. You can do it that way, but you can also go back and accomplish missions and stuff like that. So yeah, but it was expensive. But Fish and Pickens says a used Switch right now is $500 plus.
Yeah.
So, but that's because all the kids are at home, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. I tried to find Mario Brothers for Wii the other day. I have it, but I wanted to buy it to have it at my daughter's house for when I'm in town all day. And it's still, to buy it, it's still $25 to $40.
Mm-hmm.
And that's a whole freaking game.
Expensive. I mean, I've still been playing Red Dead Redemption, but I've got somebody new to play with. You see, Jack Black plays that Red Dead Redemption.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I invited him to my posse, but he didn't accept
really
the invite because I went and found his username.
Yeah. Video games are the thing right now because all the kids being at home.
I play mine.
Sure, everybody's nagging their mamas.
Then, of course, we had to watch that Tiger King. I broke down and watched that. So
I heard that Joe Exotic is running for president.
No, he tried.
He was running for governor.
He tried years ago. He tried to run for president years ago and never did it. Then he tried to run for governor.
Yeah.
See, I watched a documentary on YouTube about him. Or I don't know if it was a documentary, but on YouTube about him probably almost a year ago. Maybe even a little more.
He's different, I tell you. Whew.
Yeah, he's a different duck, that's for sure.
Yeah. Carroll Baskin did it. No matter what it is, Carroll Baskin did it.
Yeah. She's a nut too.
Uh-huh. Makes you wonder if she didn't feed her first husband to the lions or the tigers.
Is he in prison? It's
I think he is still.
Yeah. Is it impossible to run for president from prison? I don't know why you couldn't.
Yeah.
Really.
You're not even supposed to be able to vote if you have a felony. So I don't know how you would do that.
I know he's blowing the whistle on all of them that were involved in anything that had to do with, trafficking lions or tigers. He's just like a singing parakeet right now. So, and then it's crazy. Oh, Bambi, you don't have a care.
I like stuff like that.
I do too. He's different. It was a different show, but I think they're all crazy if you ask me. But I mean, I never understood at first. I thought Carroll Baskin was doing the same thing they are, but she's actually only got like 9 elderly tigers that were rescued. Where he had like what I think he said 200 and some tigers, and then 22 more that were supposed to be coming. But he was breeding them, and then that's how he was making his money. Letting them let people come and pet them, so and play with them when they're babies, and then when they
Wow.
get so old, she said her thing was that she said that he's euthanizing when they get too old for people to mess with, because when they get to be 6 months old or a year old, they're big, and they don't want to be handled too much, so they start getting more aggressive. So where are they going? So that was her whole beef theme. That what's he doing with them? And they only, I'm not going to spoil it for those that haven't watched it, but it's just crazy.
Yeah, I haven't yet, but I know a lot about the show because I've looked at memes and stuff like that, and I pretty much it's like, one of my favorite memes is like there's this guy that is that collects tigers, and it goes through the whole thing of all the stuff that he does, including his relationship status and all of that. And like they're saying, this is how I'm explaining it to my mom. And so there's this guy that does all those things, and that's just one person.
Yeah. It
sounds good.
He's way out there. I mean, he's way out in left field picking dandelions. I mean, it's just like, this guy's a nut. So,
man,
my sister's like, oh, but he's got such a good singing voice. I said, that's not him. I said, he Milli Vanilli that.
Did he really?
Yes. She's like, oh,
wow.
He's so weird, but he's got such a good singing voice. I'm thinking,
oh man,
because there's all kinds of stuff on the internet about him, whether or not he was singing or not. And I found the link that the band that came forward that actually did the music, because they didn't know that he was going to take credit for it, and he did.
Oh,
yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, say that he would send them ideas for songs about tigers and stuff, and they'd come up with the song and record it and send it to him, and then he'd make a music video. So he's something else. I mean, that guy is like, if he wasn't crazy, he'd be a evil mastermind, but he's just nuts.
Right?
He's a few fries short of a Happy Meal, I'm telling you.
Just a wee bit.
But it's like a train wreck. You can't stop watching. You have to sit there like, we watched all of it in like two evenings. We watched it.
Wow.
Hello. How are you?
That is pretty crazy.
What are you doing? Quit. You silly.
Your doggy, I swear.
She's such a big baby.
Like a little baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
What, did you hear Bobby barking?
Prancer does that to me, but only whenever I lay down in bed. Like, if I'm sitting up in bed, he won't even come near me, really. He just pays attention to Brandon, and then as soon as I lay down, I get my blankets up on me. He is right on my chest. And, just like Bambi is right now.
She's like this all the time. I mean, if I sit down, she's on my lap, scratching at me and if I usually keep a blanket on the arm of the chair, and she'll go put her head on that blanket and start going, wanting me to cover her up. So I have to cover her up and she sleeps, I mean, it's all, no matter where I'm at. If I'm in the kitchen eating, she wants me to hold her. If I'm in here, she wants me to hold her. When I sit down, she's right in my lap, and it got worse after surgery. So, I mean, it's like,
I guess I probably told Prancer too many times, don't bug me because I'm doing something right now, even though I'm just sitting up in bed, maybe looking at my phone or something. Maybe I've told him too many times that, you know, I was too busy to pay attention to him, or just didn't pay attention to him. And he got the hint and just doesn't want to have anything to do with me either until I lay down.
Yeah, Bambi's always, even when I tell her to go lay down, she's like, you're going to pick me up and you're going to hold me.
This is what you're going to do.
Yeah. And Benji, he don't even wait to be picked up. He just jumps up on your lap. So. But yeah, she's a mama's girl.
I hope Valerie's feeling better by now. I mean, she gets those migraines, and it takes her a little while to get rid of it. She ends up having to usually take Advil and then lay back down.
I usually got to cover my head. I got to make it completely dark when I get them. Because when I get them, if the light hits my eyes, I throw up. I can't. It's horrible. So I usually go to the darkest room and cover my head and just lay there until it passes. Yeah.
That's the way I am.
I
don't get them. I only get them maybe once every few years, and boy, when I get them, that's all I can do is just lay there and suffer.
Yeah, I used to get them.
You know the only thing that'll help me whenever I get them is to smoke pot. That's it.
Well, then you should never get them.
Even I don't smoke it that often, Nikki. But I don't. I can't get rid of it. Even usually with the Advil or anything like that, migraine medicine, I can't. It doesn't work on me. So if I smoke pot and go back to bed, I'm fine. So yeah, I was like really bad. I'm not bad now because when Jonah was a year old, I had a cyst that I had from like the time that I was like 6 months old. I had a cyst right here on my head, right on my temple. And anytime like I would get a headache, which was like all the time, and that cyst would swell, and I had to have it removed. Year old, and ever since then I haven't had a real bad problem with headaches like I did. So I think it had something to do with, maybe it was laying on a nerve or something.
Maybe
when they took it out, it was a ball of hair.
Oh,
yeah.
So like, well, like whenever, it could have been like a twin or something. I don't know.
Could have been your twin.
Yeah, like but because of when they took it out, it was like, because they said it was a fatty tumor, so I'm assuming the outside was like fat, and then the inside was hair.
Gross.
But it was probably because it was right there on my hairline, and my hair grew into it. I'm thinking, I don't know.
I always think I was a twin. My sister always says I would have eaten my twin if I was. Well, I think I was because between my sister, my next oldest sister, myself, my mom lost 2 sets of twins between the two of us. So, and I'm the only left-handed child in the family.
Oh.
So that's why I think I might have been a twin. So, because you get that, they say twins, when their other half doesn't make it, they have a sense of like emptying, like something's missing. I felt like that my entire life. Like there was supposed to be another me, And my dad's like, God help us if there would have been 2 of you. Good Lord. He said, your mother and I would have been in the crazy farm if we had to raise 2 of you. I said, no, I would have been the evil twin. That one would have been the good one. So
I'm the only left-handed. I'm the only left-hander in my family.
But they say a lot of
I did.
times, if you notice twins, one's left-handed and one's right-handed.
Oh, I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
My niece has twins, and one's left-handed and one's right-handed. Corey was a twin. My daughter's, I call him my son-in-law. They're not technically married, but they've been together for 7 years. But anyway, his brother, who passed away, was right-handed, and he's left-handed. So, and his mother was a twin. So, and his mother was left-handed, and his aunt was right-handed. He said, so it stands to reason that a lot of times it's a possibility that if there was twins in the bloodline to begin with, then it's possible that I could have been one. So, or what's left of one. My sister's like, yeah, but you ate your twin. Dominance. There can only be one. And it's gonna be me. But they, and my mom went into premature labor with me. She was only 6 months pregnant with me, and not quite 6 months pregnant with me.
Oh Lord!
So I was in an incubator for 3.5 months. So I was the smallest, and now I'm the tallest. So they called me Peanut. I was so little. I said, yeah, you couldn't tell that now. I'm like, big bag of nuts now.
I was premature with underdeveloped lungs. You never tell that now with how loud I am. I had that. I had my heart was underdeveloped, my lungs were underdeveloped, but everything else was fine. I had hair, I had eyelashes, eyebrows, fingernails, everything else, but the two main organs were underdeveloped. So, and I've had problems with that ever since. But other than that, I'm good. Bambi was a preemie too. Her was a little runt. And I got
that's Prancer too.
I could hold her in the palm of my hand, literally. There's a picture of me holding her she just looks like a hamster. She was so little. Her was tiny.
Wow.
And she looked like a little deer, so that's why I called her Bambi, because she was all ears. Her ears were bigger than she was. She finally grew into those, though.
I've found this really cool thing that was on the Bakari app, and it's like a countdown to cash kind of thing.
Huh.
Like you can choose like what you want the money for, like say like I need to pay a bill, and then how much it's going to be, and it'll give you like a kind of like a graph of like what you have so far and all of that, and it kind of gives you a little bit more too. It gives you how many sales you've got so far with the amount, and then also it gives you something else. It tells you the amount of items that you have listed and the amount that those are worth. So it kind of gives you like how much all your stuff that you have listed, like a amount of what they would be worth. You know what I mean? Like how much you put them in for or whatever. So it's kind of cool. I think it's called count. I can't remember what it's called. Countdown to cash or something, but it's right on the Bakari app.
I don't see it.
I'm trying to. I've never had a sell where they ship me the label, or they sent me the label or whatever.
What do you do? Your own shipping?
Usually I do it on pirate ship, but for some reason I changed it to where they just take the shipping out of my money because I do free shipping over there.
Okay.
So they took the shipping out of my money.
Is the shipping high? Like, is it higher, do you think, than?
I think it is. But it seems this thing that I'm shipping, it says $11, and I really think I could ship it for cheaper than that
Oh,
on
yeah.
Pirate Ship.
Yeah.
It's just a candle warmer. So I mean, it's got some weight to it, but oh, there it is. I found it. It says print shipping label and a big old orange block. I don't know how I missed that.
I got a job, so I gotta go. See you guys.
Bye.
All right, have a
Bye,
good one,
Nikki.
Nikki.
Bye, Nikki.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
I sold one thing on Macari. That's it. But I don't have a lot listed there.
Oh man, I was really working on my Poshmark last night.
Right.
I only slept 3 hours last night.
I saw a bunch of stuff from you on Twitter. You were
Yeah,
sharing them on Twitter.
I found a way to really cross post pretty fast on my phone.
Oh, okay.
And so that's what I was doing. I was cross posting. I mean, I listed a bunch of stuff on eBay too, but with cross posting and everything, I probably got at least 40 things up. You know,
Wow.
with cross posting to Macari, cross posting to Poshmark, and then with my eBay listing, I easily got 40.
So you do it all from your phone? You take it from eBay to Poshmark on your phone?
Yeah, all I've been doing is screenshotting it. Screenshotting
Oh,
because
that's
my
nice.
pictures aren't there. My pictures aren't on my phone from when I listed them on eBay. So, like my older listings, you know, and so I'm going to my eBay listing on my phone and I'm screenshotting them, and then even like sometimes I'll pull up the condition because it's kind of hard to see that on your phone. And if you know, I would rather take a picture of it than have to type it out on my phone.
Right.
Put it in the Poshmark or Macari listing. So I'm screenshotting that too. I'm just putting it on my pictures. And it seems like it's really quick. And then all I do is I copy what I have in my item description, and then I go to the other app, whatever, Macari or Poshmark, and I put all my pictures, which includes my condition and all that, and sometimes my item specifics. If I have measurements in there or whatever, I'll put it in there, and then paste my description, and then fill out any other fields that I need to fill out, and it's done.
Awesome. I've been using. Go ahead. It takes.
I was just gonna say it takes probably 2 or 3 minutes for me to cross post something to Poshmark or Macari.
I've been using a Chrome extension called Cross Listed.
Oh,
that is pretty good. You know,
where can you cross list to?
To Macari and to Poshmark.
Oh, really?
I mean, it's not perfect. It fills out because I tried that other one called
List Perfectly.
No, there was another one.
Bendo.
Vendu, yeah. I
Vendor,
tried
yeah.
that and I'm like, well, it doesn't fill in everything and it doesn't. But this one is kind of the same, but it's a lot cheaper. So
How much does it cost? Do you know?
it's $9.99 a month.
Is it?
Yeah. So what I do is I create my eBay listing. So what I had been doing was creating my eBay listing, taking my pictures, sending my pictures to my computer through you know, on the what's the I thing? Oh my God, my brain's not working today. Anyway,
okay.
sending my pictures to my computer, doing my listing in eBay, then going into Mercari and adding those pictures. And so this copies the description and all of that over. And what it does is, instead of sending my pictures, I take my pictures in eBay and then save it as a draft. And then when I pull up the draft on my computer, finish it, and I hit this cross list, and it downloads all the pictures from eBay. So then I can pop them into both the other platforms, and it copies the description and all that. It's not perfect. It doesn't copy everything, and that was my beef about those other programs, was that they cost so much money and they didn't really copy everything.
Yeah.
But I feel like this does saves me enough time that, to me, it's worth it for the $9.99 a month. But you have to use it in Chrome. It's a Chrome extension.
Right.
But I like it.
Do you think it's worth the money?
I think it is for me, because it just saves me that time on the pictures. And what I would do is I would take the pictures and then I would send them by airdrop to my computer, and then I would put them into eBay, and then so it saves me that step of the airdrop, which is not a big deal, but it saved me a little bit of time there. And then when I hit cross list, it fills in that description and everything. So before, I was copying the description and pasting it. I felt like I was doing a lot of, yeah. So I feel like it's worth it for me. And there is a trial that you can try it for a week. I think it's a 7-day trial. I mean, it can't hurt to try it.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
At least, if anything, to get all your stuff up. If I don't know if they have a limit. They have a limit?
No, it's unlimited. You just yeah.
I might have to try that.
Let me see if I can find the.
What's it called? Cross list it?
It's called cross list it, and it's just it pops up into the side of your. Yeah, $9.99 a month, full access, and it's a free 7-day trial. I'll pop it in the chat here.
Okay.
Cross list it.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to try that. Hey there, David, the truth. Yeah, I hope you're staying safe and healthy right now. Yeah, I mean, List Perfectly works for a lot of people, and I know Liz uses List Perfectly, so does Valerie. I just think it's a lot of money for that.
Right, like Vendu was like $8.99 for 25 new, like for so many new items, and then if you had more than that, it was more money.
Yeah,
and this is it's just a flat. It's $9.99 a month. And
that's cool.
Yeah, just however many.
Where does it cross post to? Like,
I want to say maybe just Mercari and
Poshmark.
Poshmark.
Because see, Vendu didn't even do Mercari. Whenever
Etsy,
I try
Etsy too, it'll cross post to Etsy as well.
See, I don't have Etsy either.
I don't either.
But so I would just need something basically for Mercari and Poshmark anyways. But that was the downside for me with Vendu, because it was like, well, I'm already doing this on eBay, and if I could just cross post it to Poshmark anyways, why not just do it? It's not really, if it was going to more if it was going to more sites or whatever, I could see, but
Right.
for me, it just was not worth it.
Yeah, for me, it definitely wasn't worth it. I never tried List Perfectly, but I did try the Vendor. To me, it was just the monthly cost was just so high, and you had to worry about how many listings you could do. And this is just I open the eBay, I finish it. Once it's live, I go into it. I click this little thing in the upper corner. It opens Mercari. It opens the listing form on Mercari. It opens the listing form on Poshmark. It downloads the pictures to my downloads folder. And then when I go into each, the description's there. Sometimes the sizes, it's not perfect. Sometimes the size is there, sometimes it isn't. But it's just a matter of, for me, the big thing is the description and being able to just drag those pictures in from my downloads folder.
And you're only doing one listing at a time?
I'm doing one at a time.
Yeah.
After I finish one, I cross post and then I go on to the next.
Cha-ching.
Get it?
Yeah.
But if
I
you
get it.
But if you did all your eBay listing and then the next day you just went into what you did yesterday and cross post it.
Right.
But you can't do it in bulk. You have to do it one at a time. So.
Yeah. I just sold a curler set
Oh, awesome.
to New York. I'll take that. Thank you very much.
Oh, cha-ching again.
You to get it.
Get it.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, yeah, the List Perfectly, you can do multiple listings at a time. That's one thing that's kind of
Okay.
cool. But
This is just one at a time.
yeah, Valerie does like 6 or something at a time.
Okay.
But she says to keep them from messing up, she has to do like 6. I think you can do more than that.
Oh,
Like,
okay.
But everything might not go in the correct spots or whatever. So people having to do their own hairs.
Yeah.
Yeah, because you got to look good in your high-rise apartment in New York City.
That's right.
Because you're all
Quarantine.
cooped up. I can't imagine. I got my house here. I got a yard, and I can go walk around the blocks and stuff. But God, New York City, you're just cooped in your little apartment.
Yeah.
Probably.
But you know what? They got to do it to save their own lives.
Yeah.
2 or 3 squally kids begging.
Yeah, I could not
to do.
imagine. I could not imagine having young kids at this time, and having them stuck to the house all the time, like it's summer,
Yeah, Mom, can we go to the park? No, they took it over and built medical tents there.
I'd be putting melatonin in their Kool-Aid.
Wow.
Take a nap. We're not tired. You will be.
Those Clairol sets that are like just a row of 8 rollers?
Mm-hmm.
$35.
Yeah, wow. I just sold some rollers day before yesterday, I think it was.
You know what I've been selling a bunch of? It's kind of weird, but not, I guess, is alumni directories, yearbooks.
Oh yeah,
yeah. I guess people are doing back to their genealogy research. I sold a book from Princeton University, a Princeton University reunion book from 1966.
Wow!
And alumni directories. People love those alumni directories. I guess
I don't even have any of those.
Most of them are probably dead.
Yeah, but they have addresses in them, names and addresses and phone numbers.
Right.
Yeah, and I think people doing genealogy will go back and they can find from them.
That's cool, though. Yeah. I'm glad that people are trying to be inventive with their time. Right. Like there's so many people that just don't know how to do this. Even if they're not doing reselling or anything, they don't know how to be at home all day when they're supposed to be at the office. They, even, or whatever they're doing, even working in a restaurant. How, those people don't have anything to do at home as far as working from home, so they're having to be inventive and finding ways to use their time during the day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
How far out do y'all think this thing can go? I mean, are we stuck here
I
another
say
2 weeks, 6 weeks, a year?
I don't know, Todd, but from what the doctor said yesterday that I listened to, he said that we have another 2 weeks before it even
Stay down there.
peaks. So
Mhm.
so once it peaks, what will 2 weeks be from now? 4/16.
Yeah, but even even if it peaks, you can still get it. There's still
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Right.
Oh yeah. They're not gonna let people go just whenever it peaks. So we've been
Hey, Val.
doing this for how long?
3 weeks.
3
Our
weeks. So
stay at home order started March 21st. So is that 2 weeks, I guess? Just seems like forever.
March
yeah.
21st.
Morning, Val. Val says they're saying through the beginning of the summer.
Mhm.
I just can't. Last night, the news, there was some kind of a teaser about the vice president saying Memorial Day will be logged in until Memorial Day, but we didn't see
Nobody knows.
they don't know. They have no idea.
Mm-mm.
I
I
don't
mean,
know how.
who knows if it gets worse before our peak's over, and then because it's worse, then we have to stay in longer. You know what I mean?
But how
Mhm.
long
I
do
mean,
you think it will be before people won't do it? I mean, I think you can only hold human beings and lock them in for so long.
well, thing is they might not have a choice.
Mhm.
You know, if they are so worried to go outside, because they're going to get sick, they may have to choose to stay in. I mean, they may have to stay inside to not get sick.
I mean, they need to come up with a vaccine, and that could take 18 months to 2 years. I read
Mhm.
somewhere.
Oh yeah.
And then if they could come up with a treatment, there's no treatment for it. That's the issue. There's no treatment.
Well, we're working on it.
And
We're
now,
working
like
on it right now.
Val says, they're saying there are people walking around with the virus not showing symptoms. You do not know if people have the virus. You could not have the virus and still be passing it along.
Mhm. Yeah, because you could be a carrier,
Right.
just like with any other disease.
I read something about one thing about that they're taking people's temperature as they will go into work, for instance, because you could be running a low-grade fever and not know it, and then they could send you home, and that's one way to keep other people's, like people going to work at Walmart or a grocery store, take their temperature as they come into work every day.
They need to do it with the customers too.
Yeah.
They should. And then the other thing is that I saw something about looking at these health apps that are on people's phones, that there might be information that's being collected in these health apps that actually gives an indication as to whether or not someone has the virus.
Oh.
So they're looking into doing things with those health apps on people's phones. And Cindy says
Yeah.
summer heat will kill a lot of the virus, hopefully, but summer heat here doesn't get really hot till July.
July,
Right.
August here.
August, yeah. Valerie says, get your scarves and bandanas listed. People are going to be looking for them. I got a whole box of those. Maybe I'll get to them today. I don't know.
I saw a
And any
video.
fabric.
Yeah, fabric. I saw a video on how to make a mask out of a scarf, just using like little hair elastic hair bands.
Mhm.
Yes.
Just the way it's folded with the hair bands, it makes a mask without even having to sew anything.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's scary. It's just
It is scary.
frightening to me to think that we could be. I mean, we're fortunate. Like Todd says, we're in a. I can't even imagine if we were stuck in our apartment, one bedroom
Mhm.
apartment. We're here.
Mhm.
Yeah.
In a big house and with a yard, and once it gets warmer and we would be able to sit out on the deck, that would be a lot better.
Well, now that they're coming to get that van today, Brandon was talking yesterday about planting corn. So I think we're going to make a garden.
Oh,
That's what we're
cool.
doing. I bought a bunch of seeds. And I'm gonna make like either a bucket garden or I'm gonna use totes. Like a hydroponics type thing.
Cool.
I'm thinking about it. I don't know. I might just stick with buckets. I've already got a start on potatoes. I've seen a potato in a bag that it needed to be thrown out, so I went to throw it out. There's one potato that has a bunch of little sprouts on it, so I'm keeping that one. We're going to bury those little sprouts.
Oh, cool.
And have a bunch of potatoes. But I've got seed packets I picked up 2 weeks ago. The last time I was out and about before it really shit hit the fan,
Yeah.
so to speak, around here. So, but I'm gonna try to do cucumbers and all that, so I can have pickles and so.
Hi, Frankie. Yeah, Frankie says there was a research guy last night saying there may be an announcement this week on a breakthrough with the testing and antibodies. Yeah, I heard that somebody came out with a new test that only takes
15 minutes or something.
yeah,
I
it's
think
quick.
I think Abbott Laboratories and something about plasma. Hi, Frankie. Something about plasma.
Mhm.
Some kind of plasma treatment that's not as good as an viral medication, but because it doesn't something about it doesn't last.
Mhm.
But still, that would be awesome.
That's one good thing about living out in the country. I can still go out in the yard and I can still do things outside if I want to. It's just a little chilly out there, or I can go down at the lake and go fishing or something like that. But I don't think I could handle it if I was living in the city and be stuck cooped up in an apartment. I'd go stir crazy. I'd be
Yeah.
like,
I mean, we're lucky we're still having our new door and window put in tomorrow. Anderson, there's coming, but because our back door is in really bad shape. But if we hadn't been doing this work, we'd have just stayed up in the city till April, and we'd have been stuck up there. The only reason we came down here early was because we had this work going on.
Get down.
Although I've now heard that some gas stations will not pump gas for people with Pennsylvania license plates. So
that's ridiculous.
Yeah. Frankie says if they can tell you have already had it, you may have antibodies that could be used to treat. That is what I saw. That's right, Frankie. That's what I saw. Something about they can use your blood, I think, to create this plasma treatment that can help others. I don't know. I hope after all is said and done, I said something yesterday about doing an investigation, kind of like they did after 9/11. The 9/11 Commission doing a full-scale investigation into, and I hope it can be done in a nonpartisan, not to use as a weapon way, but to really dig in and find out what we could have done in preparation that would have made this so much better for the next time, because now that it's happened, it could happen again.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
I wonder how bad some of the repercussions are going to be. Like, say your Macy's department store, you get shut down for months. Are they even going to be able to afford to do the Macy's parade and Thanksgiving this coming?
Right.
Yeah,
there's just stuff like that.
Yeah.
you think about businesses are going to be hurt for
Yeah.
months and months and even years trying to recover.
Mm-hmm. It's crazy. I mean, and we don't even know if they can find a cure for it just yet. We know they're working on trying to
Right.
find something, anything, but we don't know. We don't know how long this is actually going to be around. I mean, they say parts of China is recovering, but I've also heard that they're bracing for a second wave of it.
I don't think you can
So
believe a word that comes out of China.
I don't think so either. I
No.
mean, they're still walking around with masks and stuff,
Yeah.
and I think they said they opened one of the subways, but why? When there's still people walking around with that virus,
And
why take that chance?
there are no outside reporters in China now, right? All the
Mm-mm.
reporters were kicked out of China.
Yeah,
And it just ticks me off, sorry, when I see these reporters going on and say, well, China's doing that. You know what? If we have no reporters in China, we have no business reporting what China's telling us, because
right.
we have no way of verifying that what they're
Yeah,
saying.
because they tried to hide it in the first place.
Right. So
You know,
to be
the
out
severity
there,
of it.
to be out there on these national news programs saying, well, China did this in China, you're just being a propaganda arm of the Chinese Communist government.
Yeah, there is no way that there are more coronavirus cases in the U.S. than there is in China.
No.
But that's what they're reporting right
That's
now.
what they're reporting, and that's what
so you know that's a lie.
And that's what our American reporters are reporting, and that's just being propaganda for China.
And then somebody posted on Facebook where there was a reporter and a cameraman. The reporter's covered head to toe in hazmat, but the cameraman's not. And they're like, right there is part of the problem. The media blowing it up, making it more scary. I mean, it's already scary. And then you have this going on. So it's like, and then you see a few people outside around that reporter, and they're all looking at him like, what are you doing? Wearing this getup. So it's crazy. And all it is it's parts of the media trying to keep the scare factor going.
Absolutely.
And that's just wrong, because people are scared enough as it is. They don't need to add to it.
Yeah.
China is not our friend.
Mm-mm. Yeah, and Karen says it's starting to come out that China is having a resurgence of the virus. Honestly, Karen, I don't think there ever was I don't think it ever went away there. I don't think it ever went away. And
it won't, as long as they keep doing that open air market and all that stuff that they're doing. They're not trying to stop it. It's just that's a big part of the problem. They bring these exotic animals in to feed them to people, and you don't know what's wrong with those animals. You don't they don't have the FDA and all that like we do.
No.
They just bring them in from wherever and feed them to whoever. Oh yeah, I think I'll eat a bat today. No,
And so I believe that after this is all over, we should cut off all trade with China. I would cut China off entirely. I wouldn't deal with them in any way.
It's crazy.
And I know that's
tough.
I know that's like probably unrealistic, but
I bet 4 out of 5 of my prescriptions comes from China.
Yeah.
I bet.
And what's sad is a lot of the masks that are being the N95 masks that are being shipped in or sent in, they're coming from a company based in China. It's got American workers over there, but they're still made in China. I can't remember what company it was. I was on the news. They're a well-known company, but I can't remember what it is. But anyway, that stuff's still coming from China.
Yeah, and I get that, Frankie. Frankie says we got to start making stuff again before we can cut ties with China. I didn't mean like immediately, but once this is over, I read something about an American company that's over there and then China wouldn't allow them to ship over here. Once this is all over, we need to rethink our whole entire relationship with China and start making stuff back at home. But people still have to be willing to pay the price for things that are made at home.
Right.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
That's the problem. Everybody wants it
cheap. Right.
I mean, it costs pennies on the dollar to make it over there.
Right.
But to make it over here, it costs an arm and a leg. So
I think that's the whole thing of what Dollar General is about, that all of their products are coming from China
Yeah.
to fill that whole store,
Yeah.
you know? And, you know, maybe it's just not worth it to have
Philly Road,
things at our fingertips.
Philly Road Tech says, don't forget the minor intrusions of the stink bug and the spotted lanternfly that was brought over from China. That's absolutely true too. That, yes.
And, you know, another thing that's really scary is I was watching Joe Rogan yesterday, and he was talking about the disease that's getting the deer right now, the wasting disease.
Oh, I didn't even heard about that.
Yes, there's a wasting disease that okay, so deer are getting it from eating plants and stuff that other deer have thrown up on, or their spit and stuff has got on, that have this wasting disease, and they get it from that. Well, if that is, you know, what happens to deer, what happens when a person eats a deer that has wasting disease? You know what I mean?
Right.
Like, if it makes basically it wastes you. Like, it's like a flesh eating thing from the inside out.
Oh Lord.
And it sounds horrific. And man, I'm just scared, you know, to even, you know, like if somebody ate that,
Yeah,
a deer that has that, they could get that. I'm almost, you know, like, it's hard. I know it's hard for a person to get something that an animal has, but it happened with this. It happened with Corbid, you know.
What are you eating?
Sweet peas.
That's what I thought. I love them things. Snap
Sweet.
peas. I ate them like potato chips.
I know, they're so good.
Teresa's like, you're gross. I said, no, I'm smart.
I'm planting these too.
She's like, well, I'm eating a vegetable when she's eating potato chips. I said, yeah, a deep fried vegetable. That doesn't count. I've even eaten a raw potato just with some salt on. I don't care. I like vegetables no matter what. Except for lima bean. I will not eat a lima bean. If you had a gun to my head, I'd say pull the trigger. I'm not putting that in my mouth. I will not eat a lima bean. Do not like them. Never have. And I'd eat okra before I'd eat lima beans. I don't like okra either.
You don't like okra? Oh,
there's
my
nothing
God.
to it. You bite into it, it's like air. No, what the?
Oh,
and
your air fryer. Oh my God. I love fried okra. So I can just imagine that the air fryer would do the same thing.
No, I'll tell you what I like
can
is asparagus. Oh, I could eat asparagus every day.
Me too.
With butter and garlic.
I don't like rye bread. Beth is right. I don't like rye bread.
What's the story behind that, Maggie?
You want to hear the story behind the rye bread? It's not a funny story or anything.
That's right.
When I was little, my father, who I think he left when I was in maybe 7th or 8th grade, but we were little, so he was still there, and he was not very fond of me. So we were.
What?
No, I mean he just not.
Who could not be fond of you? Anyway, go ahead. Sorry.
Yeah, I was.
That just sounds so strange because you're such a pleasant person. Anyway, go ahead.
I was just not the daughter he thought I should be. I was not as cute as the others. I was too fat. He just didn't like me. So anyway, we were home one day. My mother was working, and we were at home. And he made us sandwiches, and he made the sandwiches on rye bread. And I said, no, I didn't like the rye bread. And he said, you have to eat it. And he made me eat it. And I literally, it's disgusting. I literally threw up after eating one bite. And then he made me eat the entire sandwich, even though I threw up after every bite. So
That's
I've never
bad.
been able to. I've never been able to. I think now it's more as much of a mental thing, like things you didn't eat as a
Mhm.
child, or that later
Yeah.
on, like broccoli. I hated broccoli, and now I like to eat broccoli. But I've never been able to even make myself try rye bread again. I think it's just that memory of the. Yeah.
You know what's amazing? My brother won't stick a piece of vegetable in his mouth. Like lettuce, tomato, onion. It doesn't matter what it is, but he loves fried squash,
Oh,
fried
Oh yeah.
zucchini, fried zucchini.
that's
He
funny.
loves
That
it.
must be the.
And Brandon, when he was younger, he didn't eat vegetables at all. But he loved spinach, canned spinach. It didn't even matter if it was hot or cold. He'd eat it cold, canned spinach.
I don't like canned spinach. It's too slimy.
No,
I like it.
I don't like.
I like
It's
it
like
because
lake
it's
moss or something. It's like somebody just pulled their line in through a bunch of moss and then stuck it in a can. I was like, nope, I'm
Now,
not
in
eating that.
Best Show, they talked about sauerkraut. Now, I could eat sauerkraut. I could
Oh, I
eat
love
sauerkraut
sauerkraut.
cold right out of the can, or better from
Yeah,
the. Yeah,
that's the
love
German
I
in me.
can't
I
sauerkraut.
love it.
even
And
say
as far as rye bread goes, the Reuben, it's not a Reuben unless you put it on a piece of
Yeah,
rye bread.
yeah.
That's, you got your marble rye, you got your light rye. It has to be on your dark rye.
Dark
I mean,
rye.
that is a Reuben.
It's a Reuben.
So,
I know Michael loves Reubens.
I do too. I like grilled
Yeah,
Reubens. You ever had a grilled Reuben?
yeah, he has.
Fix it like a
Yeah.
grilled cheese. Oh my God. It's like, ew.
That stuff's good right there. Make you slap your mama
Yeah. Yeah.
or
So
kiss
yeah,
your grandma or whatever.
I used to come home from school and I'd come in the house and there would be this horrible smell. And I said, Mom, what is that? And
The
she's like, I'm
cabbage.
fixing sauerkraut for your dad.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I
I love
can't. I
sauerkraut.
gotta do homework. I gotta go do it outside. Or if it was too cold outside, I would go in the bedroom and I would stick sheets and towels underneath my door so that smell couldn't get in my room.
That's like
It was awful.
ugh. Lady I used to work with used to bring in, she called it sweet kraut and hot dogs, but she would make it sweet flavored and cook it all day with hot dogs in it. And I tell you what, that was good. I'd never
oh
had
yeah.
like a sweet kraut before,
Sometimes
and it was
the Amish will make a sweet sauerkraut. It's
oh.
really good.
And then they
Michael,
have I don't know if you've ever heard of chow chow. Have you ever heard of chow chow? It's made with sauerkraut,
Yeah.
with a kraut, but it's mostly from Tennessee. And Teresa's aunt makes it homemade, and she brought a little jar up. And I put that literally, it's like Frank's red sauce. I put that shit on everything. It's good on hamburgers. It's good on hot dogs. I mean, it's like, oh, I can eat it right out of the jar. I love it. But it's got a sauerkraut base. It's good.
oh, thanks, girls in the chat. You know what? Sometimes those things that happen to you make you a better person.
Yeah.
I feel like maybe I'm a better parent because I keep in mind those things that were so hurtful to me, and I never wanted. Yeah.
You never wanted to cause your child to look back on things that you said and say, God, my mom really was a bitch that day, or God, what the hell was she thinking when she said that to me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never wanted that for my kids either. I mean, I'm sure I've made mistakes before, but I always hope that my kids could say, Mom, that hurt my feelings, or
Right.
Why did you say it like that, or something,
And that
to that effect.
And that my children always felt like, I always said to them, this house is a place where you always will be safe. I didn't feel safe in my own home as a kid. I mean, there were days when I would walk down the street and be like, I don't want to go in the house. And
Yeah.
Mhm.
that just made me feel like no matter what you do, no matter what happens in your life, for my kids, this is always an absolutely
Mm.
safe place for
Yeah.
you to say anything, to do
Right.
anything, and to be exactly who you are,
Who you are.
and not to be ashamed of who you are. I was made
Right.
to feel ashamed of.
Right.
Sorry, I was made to feel ashamed of who I was as a person, and
Yeah.
I would never do that to another human being.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
That I totally agree with you. I totally agree with
Mhm.
you. That was a lot of my house too. My mom always made us feel like we were safe, but it was another thing when it came to
my
my
dad.
dad.
Yeah, absolutely.
I
Yeah.
was fortunate enough to have two really good parents. I mean, my dad was a ex-Marine, so he was strict,
Yeah,
but he was a good dad. He
right.
showed us how to do anything we wanted to do. If we didn't know how to do it, he would show us. He wouldn't.
Yeah.
He made sure we knew how to do things on our own, so we didn't have to depend on anybody if we didn't want to. But he was also a good dad and disciplined us when needed.
Yeah,
Right.
And
that's a
and so
completely
was my
different thing.
mom. So I
Yeah,
mean,
Yeah.
yeah. But there were kids that I grew up with whose fathers and mothers were just, you just want to knock the crap
Terrible.
out of them. And
Yeah.
those kids turned out to be people that, some of them turned out okay and some of them didn't. So I mean,
Yeah.
yeah,
it's all in how you're raised. I mean, and how you look at it, how you look at that. Do you want to be like that person? It's like, no, because you could have followed down that path too, Maggie, but you chose not to. That
yeah,
makes you a bigger, better person than he ever
Yeah.
will be.
You changed the cycle.
Yeah, you stopped it. Yeah,
yeah. Thank you.
and
He died. He died of cirrhosis of the liver. He was 50 some years old. He was told that if he didn't stop drinking, he would be dead within a year. And he said, "Well, it'll be a hell of a year."
Mm,
And he did die within the year. And at the end, I was the only one that was there with him.
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, weird, right? Weird.
Well, good for you. Good for
Mhm.
you that you did that. Because if you didn't, you would have
Regret it.
regretted it.
Yeah, it just was a case of he was sick, he was in the hospital, and we were taking turns being with him, and I just happened to be there that night, and my sisters couldn't get there in
Mhm.
Yeah.
time, but yeah. Yeah, Karen says, "I would always swore I wouldn't make mealtimes a battleground. I remember told to stay at the table and eat the Brussels and never forgot it."
Mm.
Yeah, it's such a small thing, but
Mhm.
those battles and those,
Mm.
they're not worth it. They're just not worth it.
Now
I
my
can
dad.
remember
Yeah.
I can remember like, being told to stay at the
Mhm.
table until you finish your meal or whatever. But
Mhm.
I never wanted to make my kids hate
Right,
something
right,
or hate themselves because they couldn't do something,
right.
Mhm.
you know?
Or
My
dread
dad was. Yeah.
or dread coming to the dinner table because
Yeah.
you might have something they didn't like and they didn't want. Yeah,
Yeah.
or like Frankie says, I was made to sit at the table till the peas were gone, so I shoved them up my nose.
My dad used to say, if you take it, you eat it. But when they put it on my plate and I wouldn't eat it, he'd get mad because I wouldn't eat it. I said, well, I didn't put it on there, so I'm not eating it. And he couldn't argue with me. So if mom fixed my plate and I didn't eat it, or if he fixed my plate and I didn't eat it, that was their fault because they should remember I don't like this, this, or this.
Yeah.
Don't put it on my plate because I won't eat it. Because he tried that, you're going to sit there till you eat
Yeah,
it. Well,
yeah.
I sat there till the next day and I still didn't eat it. And I thought, I'm not eating it. I said,
Yeah.
you eat it if it bothers you that much, So I'm surprised I, didn't have dentures at 6 because
Yeah.
I was mouthy, and I always have been mouthy. But and I remember one time he was, I forget what it was, but we had like corn on the cob. He fixed it out on the grill, and that's what was one of my favorite things as a child was corn on the cob. I loved it, and he would fix it in the husk on the grill and then bring it in, and he would husk it and then bring it in. I had like 12 ears of corn. I ate every one of them. Well, I grabbed that last one and I couldn't eat it. Well, he got so mad at me. He chased me all over this house trying to get me to eat that corn. I slithered
Oh my
up.
God.
I slithered up under the bed and he couldn't get me. He finally gave up.
Oh.
He tried to make me eat that ear of corn. I ain't eating it. Can't eat it. My mom's like, Bud, leave her alone. As soon as I got up under that bed, I crawled way up in the corner, and he couldn't get to me because he was too big to get underneath there.
Oh my God. Rita Valerie had a migraine today, so that's why we're over here.
Yeah.
Cindy, I'm sorry about your dad. You know, you can't feel bad about a person. Don't feel bad about not bad. I mean, it is. You can feel, you feel bad. Beauty of grief, I think, is that when you grieve for somebody, it's because you had that great relationship and you have those fantastic memories, and it hurts, but at the same time, there's beauty in it. If you didn't have that relationship with that person, you can't feel sad over somebody who you didn't have a great relationship with. That's just the way it is, and you just yeah.
And the grieving is for you. It's not for them.
Right.
So
that's how you deal with it.
Right. Yeah, some people aren't meant to be parents. I never knew my fish and pick, and I never knew my mother until she contacted me at 19 asking if I would test to see if I could give her a kidney. Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Jeez.
Yeah.
How I couldn't even ask.
I
would be dying because I couldn't ask.
No.
Mm-mm.
No.
A new station alert has arrived.
Oh, thank you.
Well, sorry, I didn't mean to drag the conversation down.
Fine.
I ain't worried about that.
Welcome to the therapy channel.
Yeah, therapy session.
I'm sitting over here feeling guilty because my parents are wonderful.
Hey,
Yeah.
Well, that is awesome.
that is awesome.
My dad was no saint, you know. He would drink his beer. He would get mad. I mean, if he drank whiskey, he would get mean, and him and my mom would go at it. So I seen things, you know, but I also took a ball bat across his kneecaps when he run past me after he's chasing my mom. And when he went down, I sat on him and put the ball bat across his throat and said, if you ever laid another hand on my mom, I'd finish him off. So I meant it. And from that time on, because that's the only time that they would ever get into it, was when he was drinking whiskey. And, you know, he never touched a drop of whiskey after that.
Wow.
He would make it. He would make it and give it to everybody else, but he stopped drinking it. Because that's the only time he would get mean. That was when it was like Jekyll and Hyde. He could drink beer all day long and be as happy as a lark and just cut up and have fun. You give him whiskey, it was just like somebody just turned a switch.
Isn't that crazy?
And he was so mean. He never laid a hand on us kids.
Wow.
It was always mom he went after, but she would also egg it on. And she would fight him back. She hit him in the head upside the head with a wine bottle one time, you know, and he blacked her eye one time, and she called Pammy the next day. She said, I want to go into town. And, you know, she had this big black eye, and she says, I'm going to go show everybody what your dad did to me. You know, she walked around the Thriftway, and she went into their favorite hangouts, you know, and so made him feel about that big, you know. So,
Yeah.
But those were, you know, that was about the only time, you know, that, you know, I'm sure it went on before I was even born, but I think when I stepped up and stood up to him, you know, I was the only one that did. My brothers didn't stand up to him. They cowered from him. I'm not going to let him put a hand on her. So I broke some kid's arm for calling her the B word. So I sure as hell wasn't going to let him get away with it. So, but, you know, I've seen some knockdown dragouts between the two of them, but it stopped after that. But it took me standing up to him to do it.
Yeah. So. And you shouldn't have to do that as a kid.
Well, I had a temper anyway, and I just couldn't take it no more. I was like 12 or 13, and I come out of my room with a ball bat, and I dropped him right out in the living room, you know, right across his kneecaps. So I swung it like a golf club, but it was a resin bat, and I just dropped him down, and I sat on him and shoved that bat across his throat, and had both knees on either side of that bat, and I was going to choke the life out of him with it. So that's how mad I'd gotten. So And he probably could have flung me off if he wanted to, but I think he was more worried about me choking the crap out of him. So
Yeah.
But my brother-in-law had to run down this. My brother-in-law ran down the street and just kind of picked me up and moved me off of him because Mom called my sister that she's going to kill him if somebody don't come down here and help me. So, but I told him, I said it better not ever happen again, and it never did. It's like he just finally realized that what he was doing was wrong. So he sobered up real quick that day. But we had a great relationship, you know, my whole entire life, except for that particular time when he would do something stupid like that.
Yeah, well, you have good things about your relationship that balance out those bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So.
See, my dad was like a provider. Yeah. And that was the only relationship I had with him, really. Besides him just being like the ruler, you know. I mean, he was definitely the one that busted our butts a lot of the time, and you know, but that caused a lot of mental stuff with all of us kids.
Yeah.
You know, that's why some of us won't talk to him half the time. You know, so I mean, that's what he gets. You know, if that's the kind of relationship that you're going to have with your kids when they're kids, what kind of relationship do you expect to have with them as adults? Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
Yeah, Karen, it was his wake up call. Definitely.
Yeah.
He didn't walk right for days after that, or weeks after that. I think you broke my damn kneecap.
Karen says, I can remember my dad serving cow's tongue, and my sister and I sat there looking at him like, are you kidding me?
My mom tried to give me that.
What does cow's tongue even taste like? Oh,
I don't know. My mom my mom was German, so she was always eating weird stuff like that. She picked that up and tried to serve that to me, and I'm like, I ain't eating that. You don't know where it licked last. I'm not eating that. Oh, but it's so good. I said, yeah,
I remember my dad would get brains and scrambled eggs with them. And
scrapple. Yeah. They call that scrapple or something like that.
Oh man.
Pig brains, fried pig
I tried
brains
it.
and eggs.
I had they didn't force me, but he said, you need to try a few bites of this. You might like it. No. So I did, and I was like, no. So I can say I've had brains and eggs, but I didn't just sit down and make a meal out of it.
That's just gross.
Yikes.
Yeah, my mom
liver. My parents always cooked liver, and I was like,
oh yeah, my mom ate liver and onions, which I didn't mind that, but the cow tongue, or she'd eat pickled herring with onion and Limburger cheese on rye bread. Nope.
Yeah, that's a little much.
When I was 12 years old, my mother sent me to Weight Watchers, and back then, Weight Watchers, you had to eat liver once a week. Ugh, it was like in their program. Yeah, it was in their program. You had to eat liver once a week.
My
mother would make it for me because I was the one on Weight Watchers, and they'd be eating whatever they were eating, and I'd have this liver on my plate. Ugh,
I like liver and onions. I like chicken livers and giblets and all that, but the brains I can't do. The tongue, I've even tasted pickled pig's feet. I can take it or leave it.
But, see, that's why I was surprised that I didn't like the sauerkraut. I never knew that it was pickled cabbage.
Oh, really?
Pickles. I don't like cabbage.
Oh, I love cabbage. I love cabbage heart. I love the cabbage heart. Me and my sister used to fight over that when Mom would make her slaw. We'd fight over the cabbage heart because I like to eat it with salt on it. And it's hot. It's real. The cabbage heart gets hotter the closer to the bottom that you get. And it'll light you up. Yeah. It's almost like a hot turnip or something. It's like, woo.
Yeah. Oh, have you ever had what is it called? Something heart.
Artichoke.
Artichoke
hearts.
You ever had that?
I've had pickled artichoke hearts. They're good.
I've never tried that,
Hmm.
but I
I've
love
had-
artichoke.
I've had grilled artichoke hearts. Oh, yeah. I think
I
I like the
remember-
hearts better than I like the leaf.
I remember deliberately asking Mom not to cook so much because we would eat leftovers until it was gone. You know.
Oh, so yeah.
So yeah,
You're
if she made
tired of eating the same thing.
yeah, if she made the same thing, that's what we ate until it was gone because my parents went through the depression and they were tight. They were tightwad. Her freezer bags were all washed out bread sacks and
my sister still does that. She'll rinse them out, and she'll rinse them out, turn them inside out, and hang them on a little line.
When we moved Mom out of her house, I got her collection of twist ties that she'd gotten off of bread sacks for the last 100 years, you
I
know.
wonder if you could sell them.
It's possible.
My sister is so frugal. She runs clothespins through the dishwasher to keep them clean. You know, and they start getting dirty looking. She will wash them. Yeah.
Wow.
She's something else. She gets that from my dad because my dad, if he would pick up every nail when they were building my sister's house,
tight too.
He would go up there with a magnet on the end of a stick and pick up any nail that he could find, and if they were bent, he would straighten them out because he hated to have to go buy new nails. And a lot of the additions on the house that he did with nails, and he would sit there with a brick and a hammer and sit there and straighten them nails out.
Yeah.
Screws. I mean, when I moved in, my daughter's across the hall ended up being my daughter's room, but it used to be his shop until that half a tree fell off and went through it and busted the whole top of the roof and everything. So when I went out there to clear that out, to start tearing it out to turn it into a spare bedroom, I found coffee cans upon coffee cans of screws and nails, rusted nuts and bolts and fishing hooks and sinkers, and where he would just pick everything up because he didn't want to have to go buy it. He would just go pick it up.
Yep.
Buckets of
I remember
bobber.
my dad telling this story on himself. They had just built a new lake, and Dad made pretty good money on the railroad. Well, Carl, why don't you buy a boat and take your family out and enjoy life? You know, you got money. And he said, man, I ain't going to waste money on a boat. And then he said his coworkers started telling him, Carl, you are so tight you wouldn't pay a nickel to see a piss ant eat a bale of hay. He said, well, I wouldn't either because I know a piss ant can't eat one.
That's what we say about the guy down here. I call him Mr. Krabs, our the owner of the park. And I say, yeah, he's so damn tight, so tight that if his eyes don't see the nickel, his ass will suck it up because it won't get by him too much. His eyes don't catch it, his ass will.
Oh my God.
Yeah, fishing, I'm pretty tight, but
I'm not.
That's why that's why I made that video on the gasoline deal. I mean, you got to be looking for deals. I'm still a scrounger. I don't dumpster dive much, but I get deals when I can.
Yeah, I'm kind of like that. I can't say I spend a lot of money on a lot of stuff because I do like to dumpster dive. I do try to save some stuff, pieces of wood and things like that after a project because we might need it or whatever.
Yeah.
And usually it does come in handy. I got a little bit of that from my dad, where I think
that's why my death pile got so big. I just can't turn down a deal. I can make $1 off of that.
Yep, well, I'm the same way.
Yeah,
I mean, I know I don't need to buy it, but I do anyway. It's like I can't help it.
I got so much stuff now. That's not worth listing now. Why did you buy it in the first place, you big dummy? I don't know. It just sounded like a good deal at the time.
Well,
it's about that
I'm going to go ahead and shut her down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I gotta go
wait for the
too.
to get that car. So
Thanks for the
Okay.
therapy
Yeah.
today. Yeah, I feel
Yeah,
better.
sorry.
yep, no problem. We should be back on Valerie's channel tomorrow.
Yeah.
So if you can't find us,
Slum gully.
don't worry. Just go to the group and we'll put it in the group if we're having it somewhere else. But plan on it being over on Valerie's channel, the Chick Picker channel, tomorrow. So, but thank you guys for coming out and hanging out with us for a little bit. And
And you
I
can
hope you
skip
all
your
have a good day.
psychologist. You can skip your psychologist appointment this week because you got a good session here.
That's right. That is right.
All right.
I hope you all have a good day and get lots of work done. Get lots of sales.
Bye,
And I'll
everybody.
see you tomorrow. Thank you for the panel too. Bye.
Bye,
Bye-bye.
everybody. Bye.